Friends, welcome to third session of South Asian Online Literary Conference being organized by Sahitya Academy in collaboration with the Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature. This session will have interviews and conversations. We have 8 participants in this session. Dr. Madhav Kaushik, Vice President, Sahitya Academy, will be in conversation with Professor Manjula Ranaji. Both are from India. Mr. Golga Ahmadi will be in conversation with Muhammad Mansoor Nasimi. They are from Afghanistan. Mr. Masoud Zaman will be in conversation with Professor Muhammad Nurul Huda. Both of them are from Bangladesh. Mr. Rinzin will be in conversation with Mr. Tempa Tensing about his book. They are from Bhutan. Now, I request to Professor and Madhav Kaushik ji to start the conversation. Please.
नमस्कार, साहित्य अकेडमी के इस सम्मानित मंच को मैं प्रणाम करती हूँ। आज हमारे साथ साहित्य के प्रख्यात लेखक माधव कौशिक जी उपस्थित हैं और ये मंच उनसे आभासित हो रहा है। मैं बात करना चाहूंगी माधव जी की साहित्यिक यात्रा पर। माधव कौशिक जी से मेरा पहला प्रश्न यही रहेगा कि कोई भी लेखक अपने परिवेश की उपज होता है। माधव जी ने साहित्य की विभिन्न विधाओं में दस्तक दी है। कविता, कहानी, गजल, साहित्य की क्षणिकाएं और अनेक विधाओं में इनका अपना हस्तक्षेप रहा है और हिंदी साहित्य के प्रख्यात होने के साथ साथ ये एक बहुत ही प्यारे इंसान भी हैं और साहित्य का प्रत्येक अनुरागी इसको महसूस करता है कि इनकी जो मानवीय संवेदनाएं हैं वो साहित्यिक फलक पर तो है ही, बल्कि आदमियत की दृष्टि से भी यदि इनको नापा जाए तो माधव जी सर्वश्रेष्ठ मुकाम पर स्थित होते हैं और हम लोग ये महसूस करते हैं। साहित्य की दृष्टि से और साहित्यकार की दृष्टि से जितने भी मूल्य हैं उन्हें माधव जी के साहित्य में हम लोग पा सकते हैं और अनेक इनकी जो कविताएं हैं वो लोग बहुत प्यार से गुनगुनाते हैं और मेरा मानना है कि किसी भी लेखक की सर्व स्वीकृति यही है कि वो आम जनमानस की कंठ तक उसका साहित्य पहुंचे और प्रत्येक व्यक्ति ये महसूस करे कि ये पंक्तियां मेरी ही हैं और संभवतः मेरे लिए लिखी गई हैं और मेरी ही जुबानी उनका अनुकरण हो रहा है। तो मैं बहुत ही आदर के साथ माधव जी के साथ आज बातचीत करना चाहूंगी और हम लोग स्वयं को सौभाग्यशाली मानते हैं कि आज हमारे बीच हम माधव जी से रूबरू हो रहे हैं। तो ऐसे प्रख्यात साहित्यकार से मेरा पहला प्रश्न यही है कि प्रत्येक साहित्यकार अपने परिवेश की उपज होता है। कहीं ना कहीं उसका जो जन्मगत परिवेश है, उसका जो पालन पोषण का परिवेश है और उसका आगे का जो सफर है वो जीवनानुभूतियां उसके साहित्य को प्रभावित करती हैं। तो मैं जानना चाहूंगी कि इनका कैसा प्रभाव आपके साहित्य पर पड़ा। आप अपनी साहित्यिक सफर के बारे में बताएं माधव जी।
मंजुला जी, पहले मैं आपका आभारी हूँ इतने अच्छे शब्दों के लिए। संभवतः मैं इसके लायक हूँ भी या नहीं ये तो नहीं मालूम। आपने जैसे बिल्कुल ठीक कहा, कोई भी साहित्यकार अपने परिवार और परिवेश की उपज होता है। मैं थोड़ा सौभाग्यवान रहा इस मामले में। मेरे पिता श्री अध्यापक थे और वो उर्दू और पर्शियन के बड़े विद्वान थे। तो बचपन में जब हमने आंखें खोली तो चारों तरफ पुस्तकें ही पुस्तकें थी। घर में बहुत सारी पत्रिकाएं आती थी। मेरी माताजी ज़्यादा पढ़ी लिखी तो नहीं थी, 8वीं पास ही थी, लेकिन वो हमें बहुत सारे किस्से सुनाती थी। रामायण महाभारत से लेके और जितनी लोक कथाएं हैं। तो संभवतः पहला संस्कार तो परिवार से ही पड़ा, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं। शब्द से जो प्रेम करना उन्होंने सिखाया और एक तरह से मेरी शिक्षा दीक्षा इस अंदाज से होती रही कि अनौपचारिक रूप से मुझे कविता का मर्म भी, काव्य की शैलियां भी,
تخيل شو منو international conference تعرف تسخن شو بدي غوصة غير أدبي هذا صار
Sound check it to say.
I think there is a problem from Delhi, and for that reason we are not getting that. We are not hearing anything. উদয় ভাই আপনি আনমিউট করে কথা বলেন হ্যাঁ
Thank you very much. I want to attracts Mr. Anupam Tiwari, who is controlling everything from Delhi. We are not hearing anything from Bangladesh. Not me, not Masud-Jaman. I don't know about others. What about Mr. Livingston? Are you hearing anything? Do you hear anything? You can, but we are not hearing.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Professor Huda.
Yeah, I can also hear you, but I am not hearing anything from
Because
other part, India.
in fact, the Anupam lost the connection.
Yes.
Anupam Tiwari, perhaps he has lost the connection or control over everything.
I think either Bhutan or Bangladesh should go first because we are connected.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a suggestion from you see from Bangladesh and Bhutan. Either Eugene or me should start, and we should waste our time. I have got another, you see, on the connection.
Even Huda bhai, we could also just conduct this program from Bangladesh.
Okay, no problem. That's we can do every
Yeah,
morning.
Mr. Anupam is back now, I think.
Ranjin is
Lost the connection before.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Anupam, are you hearing me? Us?
Yes, sir. I am hearing, sir. Sorry, it's
There was some.
Yeah, it's okay.
some problem.
It's okay. You lost the connection. I could understand.
We lost some time also. Yeah.
Madhav Kaushik ji.
Madhav ji, now you can continue. So far, I think.
माधव जी
जी स्वागत है माधव
जी आप हमें सुन रहे हैं जी जी माधव जी अनम्यूट कर लीजिए
Unmute, please unmute your microphone. Then you talk. Yes, it's okay now.
आवाज आई मेरी? हाँ
आगे आप बात शुरू कीजिए।
तकनीक नहीं, मंजुला जी ने जो सवाल पूछा ये थोड़ी तकनीकी खराबी से ये हम बीच में व्यवधान हुआ। सही बात बिल्कुल ठीक थी ये कि पारिवारिक मेरा जो माहौल था, माता पिता दोनों बड़े पढ़े लिखे थे, संस्कारी थे, स्वयं विद्वान थे, तो जब आंख खोली तो किताबों में पत्रिकाओं में ही अपने आप को पाया। उसके बाद जिस शहर में पैदा हुए वहां भी बड़ा बौद्धिक माहौल था और हमें पढ़ाने वालों में उदय भानु हंस थे जो हरियाणा के राज्य कवि थे, सतराम सिंह खुमार थे, तो बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग थे। तो एक तरह से आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि मेरा परिवेश पूरी तरह से साहित्यिक रहा बचपन से लेके और अब तक। उसके बाद जब शिक्षा पूरी करने के बाद जब चंडीगढ़ आ गए तब तो उस परिवेश ने और भी ज्यादा हमें बढ़ावा दिया। लेकिन एक बात मैं जरूर कहना चाहूंगा कि उन फॉर्मेटिव दिनों में, प्रारंभिक दिनों में यदि आपको बताने वाले ठीक लोग हैं, आपका मार्गदर्शन करने वाले सही लोग हैं, तो आपको एक अच्छी दिशा मिल जाती है और उस दिशा का सदपरिणाम निकलता है। कई बार ऐसा होता है कि लोग दिग्भ्रमित हो जाते हैं, थोड़े दिनों के बाद छोड़ भी जाते हैं, अक्सर ऐसा होता भी है। लेकिन इस मामले में बड़ा सौभाग्यवान रहा कि मैं जहां भी रहा, चंडीगढ़ रहा या भिवानी रहा, मैंने अपने आप को लेखकों के मध्य पाया, लिखने वालों के बीच में पाया और जितने वरिष्ठ साहित्यकार थे उन सबका स्नेह भी मिला, सद्भावना भी मिली और उनका मार्गदर्शन भी मिला।
माधव जी, मेरा अगला प्रश्न है, आपने साहित्य की लगभग प्रत्येक विधा को स्पर्श किया है, पर फिर भी प्रत्येक रचनाकार की एक प्रिय विधा अवश्य होती है जिसे वो जन्म भी देता है और प्यार भी करता है। क्योंकि मेरा मानना है कि रचनाकार एक युद्ध के दौर से हमेशा गुजरता है, अपने अंतर्मन के युद्ध से। तो आप अपनी किस विधा को अपने सबसे करीब पाते हैं या कौन सी विधा आपकी सबसे प्रिय है? पाठक ये जानना चाहेंगे आपसे।
मंजुला जी, जब कोई भी लेखक जब लिखना शुरू करता है तो उसे ये मालूम नहीं होता है कि वो कवि बनेगा, कथाकार बनेगा, आलोचक बनेगा, वो सारी चीजें लिखता है। मेरे साथ भी यही हुआ। तो मैंने काव्य की तो लगभग तमाम विधाओं में लिखा, गजलें भी कही, कविता भी कही, नवगीत भी कहे, खंड काव्य भी लिखा, कविता संग्रह भी, आलोचना भी, बाल साहित्य भी, सब। लेकिन एक गजलकार के रूप में मुझे अधिक मान्यता मिली और एक तरह से पहचान भी वही बनी। तो गजलकार के रूप में अपने को ज्यादा स्वीकार करता हूं, लेकिन वो सामाजिक स्वीकृति तो गजलकार के रूप में मिली, लेकिन मेरा जो मन है वो एक गीतकार के रूप में ज्यादा रमता था। गजलें सामाजिक सरोकारों की है, प्रतिरोध की है, लेकिन जो मैंने अपनी अनुभूति है, अपनी जो भावनाएं हैं और अपनी जो एक तरह से जो मन की बात है, वो मैंने कविता के माध्यम से या नवगीत के माध्यम से अधिक कही है।
बिल्कुल माधव जी, आपने दरअसल एक शानदार प्लेटफॉर्म पे आपका जीवन गुजरा है और इसका ही प्रभाव है कि आपकी जो सारी संवेदनाएं हैं वो पूरी समृद्धिशाली हैं। कहीं पर भी कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई कमी आपके जीवन में रह गई हो। फिर भी आपकी कविताओं में, आपकी गजलों में आक्रोश भी है, आत्मीयता भी है, सौम्यता भी है और सूक्ष्म अनुभूतियां भी हैं। पर आप अपनी सबसे प्रिय अनुभूति किसे मानते हैं? और मैंने देखा कि हो सकता है ये आपकी पीढ़ी की शर्त हो कि वहां पर प्रेम भी बहुत सकुचाया हुआ सा है। बहुत प्रेम भरी कविताएं भी आपने लिखी और श्रोता और पाठक प्राय ये जिक्र करते हैं कि माधव जी की जो प्रेम कविताएं हैं वो बहुत ही मर्मस्पर्शी हैं। तो हम ये चाहेंगे कि आप अपनी प्रेम कविताएं हमें सुनाएं ताकि उनसे हम आपकी पूरे व्यक्तित्व का निखार उनमें आ सके। तो मैं बहुत स्वागत करूंगी यदि आप अपनी प्रेम कविताएं हमारे सामने प्रस्तुत करें। जी माधव जी।
मंजुला जी, आपने बड़ा, अब तक तो हालत ये थी कि जो भी मुझे कहता था वो गजल सुनाने के लिए ही कहता था। संभवतः किसी ने आज तक उन कविताओं के बारे में कहा भी नहीं है। सच बात तो ये है कि जैसे आपने कहा कि हमारी पीढ़ी जिस तरह का प्रेम का निरूपण करती है, लिखती है, उसमें एक संयत भी है, संतुलन भी है और एक तरह से वो अपनी सीमाओं में रह के भी आगे बढ़ने का प्रयास करती है। ये उसकी खूबसूरती है। और कहीं ना कहीं वो प्रेम उदात्त भावना से लेके वो व्यक्तिगत से चल के समष्टि तक पहुंच जाता है, जिसको हम इश्क हकीकी कहते हैं उर्दू में। हम वो इश्क मजाजी से चल के इश्क हकीकी में। आपने कहा मुझे एक कविता, मेरी एक कविता अगला जन्म, वो मैं आपकी सेवा में रख रहा हूं कि और उस मंदिर की ऊंची सीढ़ियां चढ़ते हुए तुमने मेरे हाथ थामे सैकड़ों किस्से सुनाए। और उस मंदिर की ऊंची सीढ़ियां चढ़ते हुए तुमने मेरे हाथ थामे सैकड़ों किस्से सुनाए। दूर यमुना के किनारे राधिका की शक्ल उभरी, बांसुरी बजती सुनाई दी कहीं से। तुमने बांसुरी बजती सुनाई दी कहीं से, तुमने मेरे हाथ पर तहजीब रखी, आरती के सामने झुकना सिखाया, मेरे जैसे नास्तिक का सर झुका। तुमने धीरे से कहा जो भी कुछ मांगोगे वह सब कुछ मिलेगा। मैंने अपनी आंखें मीची और अपने जहन का जादू जगाया और अपने इश्क से इतना कहा दे सको तो इस जन्म में और इसके बाद के भी हर जन्म में, बस मुझे इस दोस्त का ही साथ देना। मैंने अपनी आंखें मीची, जहन का जादू जगाया और अपने इश्क से इतना कहा दे सको तो इस जन्म में और इसके बाद के भी हर जन्म में, बस मुझे इस दोस्त का ही साथ देना। और उसके बाद फिर घड़ियाल की आवाज उभरी, घंटियों के शोर से मंदिर कांप उठा, शंख सा बजने लगा मेरे हृदय में। तुमने धीरे से कहा अब आंखें खोलो और मेरे सामने अगला जन्म था और मेरे सामने अगला जन्म।
बहुत शानदार प्रेम की यात्रा आपने हमारे सामने प्रस्तुत की और निश्चित रूप से प्रेम में ऐसा समर्पण प्राय आज की कविताओं में आपको नहीं मिलेगा और इतना मासूम प्रेम आपने इसमें प्रस्तुत किया है। और जो प्रेम की शर्तें हैं सारी वो सब आपने उकेर कर हमारे सामने रखी। धन्यवाद माधव जी। मेरा अगला प्रश्न है, ये थोड़ा सा आपकी रचना।
मंजुला जी, अभी दरअसल हमारे पास समय की थोड़ी सी बाध्यता है, इसलिए यहाँ पर ये हम ये बातचीत अभी यहाँ पर हमें अगले सत्र की ओर, अगले वक्त की ओर ले चलनी पड़ेगी। माफ कीजिएगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो मैं आप सबका आभारी हूँ। तकनीकी खराबी आने के बावजूद भी समय मिल गया।
चलिए, आपकी कविता हमने सुन ली। हम आपके बहुत धन्यवाद आपको देते हैं माधव जी।
धन्यवाद, आपका भी आभार, सबका आभार।
Now I request Mr. Gulga Ahmadi will be in conversation with Mr. Muhammad Mansoor Nasimi, but one participant is not connected yet. Then I request to kindly introduce yourself and say something.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Gulga Ahmadi. I'm from Afghanistan. I'm an author and born in 1966. I have got a degree of economic from the Islamic University of Science and Technology and master degree in general management, University of Preston. Currently, I'm working in the Ministry for Peace as head of the politics and the policies and programs department. And also, I have written 77 booklets and more than 1,000 articles in 25 my books has printed yet. And today I want to talk about one of my books. It's Loyager Grand Afghan Commission. And also I have got a state medal from former President of Afghanistan, Hamid Karzai, and state medal from the current President of Afghanistan, Mr. His Excellency Muhammad Ashraf Ghani. Unfortunately, Mr. Mansour has traveled to Turkey. He is not currently in Afghanistan. And Mr. Shamsul Haq, my colleague, will interview me and talk with me about my new book. My new book is about the Loya Jirga. It means is the Grand Commission of Afghanistan, and I'm ready to answer the question, and my colleague will ask me.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's a great honor to join you all after such a long time, and hope everyone is okay. We will directly come to Mr. Ahmadi's book. First, I want to ask him, what's the main topic of his book?
The main topic of my book is the Loya Jirga, the Grand Commission of Afghanistan. It has made a role in the politics and social environment of Afghanistan, and the Loya Jirga decision is the last decision in Afghan political and social environment, and the Loya Jirga can make the government, can select the president, and can do the major role in the politics of Afghanistan.
Thanks. And also, what's the Loya Jirga, and why you selected this topic for your book?
As I told, the Loya Jirga is the Grand Commission for Afghanistan, and I selected this topic for my books because it's very important in the political issue of Afghanistan and has major role, and also from centuries it has role in the politics and social issues of Afghanistan.
Okay, great. And what's the importance of the Loya Jirga in social and political life of Afghanistan? you just mentioned that it has been for centuries in Afghanistan. What's its role?
Yeah, the role of the Loya Jirga is in the constitution of the introducing in the Afghan constitutions, and also the Loya Jirga can make in the previously it make the kings of Afghanistan, and now it is introduced its role in constitution, because nobody can punish the president, but the Loya Jirga can punish the president and also the government, the cabinet members and others, because the Loya Jirga has major role in the political and social issues of Afghanistan. And also the Loya Jirga solves many problems in a historical period of Afghanistan, and every problem can be solved by Loya Jirga.
Okay, great. And how many sections your book has?
My book has 26 to 20 sections, and it's the introduction of the Loya Jirga, and also introduction of the Loya Jirga, and also what is the Loya Jirga, and how many Loya Jirga held in Afghanistan, and what is the major role of the peace consultative Loya Jirga made in 2019.
Okay, great. And what's the role of Loya Jirga specifically in Afghanistan peace process?
Yeah, Loya Jirga has a very major role in the peace process of Afghanistan, because on the decision of the Loya Jirga, the delegation of Afghanistan has appointed to talk with the Taliban movement in Qatar. And now we hope that this peace issue will be succeed in Afghanistan, and now currently this process is ongoing.
Okay, great. And how many books you have written, and how many of your books has been printed yet?
As I told, I have written 77 books, and 25 of my books are previously printed.
And what's your message to the SAARC 57th Literature Conference members?
My message is hello to everybody of my colleagues as Dr. Renzin and others. And also my recommendation is for the members of the SAARC conference to join and to make such conferences physically, and also via Zoom and other. And also I hope all of my colleagues are success and saved from the COVID-19, and I hope Masajid Court and our SAARC family are all saved, and I hope success for you all.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I request to Dr. Masoud Zama and Professor Muhammad Nurul Huda, both are from Bangladesh. I request to kindly start conversation. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Anupam Tiwari from India. It's a great occasion for us to be again with the SAARC stalwarts like Madhurji and Mr. Gulga, my good friend Rinjin, and others. Before we start, I pay brief tribute to our mother South Asia. I want to say mother humanity as well. Ojit Ji, because she has recently been awarded Shakti Puraskar 2021, which is a very good International Women's Day recognition. It's a great recognition for us because she is working a lot. And also Sahitya Akademi now is taking a great role in uniting the writers and creative people from all over South Asia. And the message we got from Gurga just now is wonderful. We want the oneness of our aesthetic essences. Okay. With these few things, I request my friend Masood to introduce himself and me as well.
Thank you very much, Professor Muhammad Nurul Huda, poet from Bangladesh, and others. Those are in fact watching this program. But first, I want to introduce myself. I am Masuduzzaman, professor from Dhaka University. I'm a poet, essayist, translator, and at the moment I'm editing one online, or rather I can say webzine called Tirundaj. I'm also a member of Bangla Akademi, the Writers Association of Bangladesh, and a member of Asiatic Society, the Association of Scholars from Bangladesh. My poems have been published in numerous anthologies and magazines, not only in Bangladesh, but also from abroad, like Italy, India, Belgium, Taiwan, Canada, Bosnia, Romania, Poland, such and such countries. My poems have been published. And I have published 6 volumes of poetry books. Of course, all are in Bangla. And at the moment, I'm preparing for an anthology, a collection of English translated poems. So today, I'm feeling very honored to be here with you and with other writers from SAARC countries. First, I need to interview Muhammad Nurul Huda. So my question will be, I'll just, what I need to read also my poems. But first, only one question I want to ask the poet, Professor Muhammad Nurul Huda, and he is an eminent, not only an eminent, but one of the topmost poets from Bangladesh. So, Huda Bhai, I just want to ask you that you are called here, and we know also that you are a poet of our nationality. We called it Jati Sottar Kobi. So, could you please explain this to our other viewers from this program, those are watching?
In Bangla, it is called Jati Sottar Kobi. In English, it should be poet of nationhood. How a group of people, they become a nation. And after becoming a nation, why they claim their statehood. And statehood, not only just a state, sovereignty. It means a self-sustaining sovereign country. If you look back into the history of Bangladesh, say 50 years back, now we are passing through the silver jubilee of our independence. It means in 1971, we got our independence of Bangladesh, a nation state we call it. And so how this nation state came into being? If we look into the abysmal history, we will see that the life in this subcontinent and in South Asia, the 7 or 8 countries that we are now running as sovereign states, okay? The beginning was, I can say, beyond memory, immemorial. And since then, we have grown into separate clans, communities, etc. At the end, we have found that there are many people who may be redefined as nations, like the Bengalis. In 1971, we got our independence, but our nation struggle for nation started as early as 1947 when we are divided. Bangladesh was then a part of East Pakistan, and Bangladesh who was arguing for its nationality, because we have all the factors of becoming a national state. The first is we claim that we have got our mother tongue, that is called Bangla, and that is one thing. That we have got our land also, we have got our people, and we had many things in common. Though inside Bangladesh there are many religious groups. Our binding force was basically our culture and our language we call Bangla.
Huda bhai, so just we got the nation, and we are now a state. We have, and that is Bangladesh. So do you think that still it has the relevance of calling a poet Jatishattar Kabi?
Yes,
the poet of a nationality.
Yeah. Why not? It should be, because you see, the term or the notion nationality is prevailing everywhere in the world. Okay, there are many nations, and many nations we can say they are growing into sovereign states also. There is internationalism, there is globalism, there is multiculturalism. If you go for internationalism, first you have to define your nationality. Uh, Internationalism means a combination of many nations all over the world. There are many nations or clans or communities who are not yet able to become nations. Say, Igbo people from from Africa. Igbo people, they are still a clan or community, they are not nations. But there are many people in the world, you have seen, they have the ability to become nations. And without if there is absence of nationality or nations, there will be absence of internationalism as well.
That's the answer I got. So I think now I can read my poems, because some time has been allocated for me. For my reading poems.
Will you not be participating in the reading sessions?
Yes,
I don't know.
I think.
You can read. No problem. You can read.
Okay, after me, Hudaba, you can read, no problem, because that time has been allocated for us, particularly for me to read my poems.
Please. I have read several times. You read out your poems. Perhaps Rinjin or Agaji and Madhavji and Tiwariji will listen to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so far, but I will read my poems in Bangla. I have the translation, but I think that I'll not get much time to read both the Bangla
original
poem and also the English text. It will not be possible.
Masood,
so far,
I suggest you recite a few lines. Then after that, you can recite the English translation. That will be better for this.
Okay, so then I think that I can read the English version or English, the translation. That would be good. Okay, so first I want to read one poem, and the title of the poem is Rotation. Before my birth, the world was lost in silence. After my birth, the world woke up like an alcoholic. Like the arms of a clock, people are endless, infinite, rotating. Spends all life touching the digits from 1 to 12. These very people have some dreams, loneliness, sleep. They have men and women they like and love. While they advance towards life, they slowly become empty. So this is a very short poem, which I have read. And now the second poem, it is also very short.
Sir, it's some time bound, please. Huda Sahab, आप कोई poem पढ़ना चाहेंगे? Are you want to read any short poem?
I must call the poem in English translation. The poem I'm reading is called Before the Steroids. You know, a steroid was coming and almost about to heat the earth, and the earth was on the verge of destruction. How we got rescued from that. Before the steroids, no. Colliding with any steroids, This great art of ours will not have begun, since humans have themselves pulled up the navel and waist belt of their mother earth. Blindfolded by the greed of power and affluence, humans have forgotten the identity of their genesis, spreading their lustful hands towards the limbs, both tangible and intangible, of their mother earth. Human is now a self-created virus. He is now a conscious Oedipus. Much before the steroids appear, our great earth, the great mother, in roaring revenge, shall burst into anger. We have never paid heed to the words of our true wise ones and mundane sayings. So let's count the moments of our ultimate end in endless regrets and conclusive repentance. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have good time.
Thank you,
Always.
thank you, Professor Muhammad Nurul Huda Sahab.
Sir, I
and
want to
Dr.
I want to
Sahab.
say something a little. I have
Yeah,
got
please.
another online, you say, conversation. So may I take leave?
Please,
When
sir. No
Rinjin will
problem, sir.
start,
problem.
I
Thank you,
beg
sir.
pardon
Thank
to Rinjin. When Rinjin will start, after a few minutes, I will leave. Masood will be there. Thank you very much.
No, I have also another program, online program. So I will also leave.
No problem, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. And now I request Rinzin and Tenzing sharing from Bhutan. I request to kindly start your conversation, please.
Kuzu Zangpo from Bhutan. I submit my love, greetings, and respects to everybody. To start with, I've already introduced myself in the morning, so
Yeah,
I
please.
don't think it's necessary to introduce myself again. But because Mr. Tempa Sring is participating in FOSWAL's program for the first time, I would like to welcome Mr. Tempa Sring to this literary festival and wish you all the best. To start with, I would first like to introduce Mr. Tempa Sring. Mr. Tempa Sring is the author of A Drop of Nectar, a collection of poems from his high school days, and he had it published right after completing his 12th standard. And he's also the author of the latest Bhutanese romance novel, The Tentacles of Love, which he published last year. And Mr. Tempa is still a student pursuing his bachelor's degree in archaeology at the Banaras Hindu University in Uttar Pradesh, India right now. Although we are both Bhutanese, I'm speaking from central Bhutan, and Mr. Tempa Sring is will be speaking from Uttar Pradesh, Banaras, the city of silk. He's also a 3-time winner of national essay competition. He's a brilliant student, obviously. Otherwise, at his age, people will be lost in their studies rather than author or writing and publishing 2 books. He enjoys reading, obviously, writing, listening to music, collecting books, and playing games and sports. And Mr. Tempa, one of the youngest Bhutanese writers, hails from Eastern Bhutan, like me, but he comes from a district called Mongar. Welcome, Tempa.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Tempa, please go ahead. Greet our friends, Tempa.
Good afternoon to all the distinguished writers from SAARC countries. So, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Before I begin, I would like to thank the coordinators of Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature for inviting me to this conference. I must say I'm honored and humbled to be a part of this conference. I think that's all.
Mr. Tempa, what year are you in right now?
Yes, sir.
What year are you in?
I'm in my final year.
Final year. That's good. You will graduate soon and then write a lot of books. Because I'm really amazed. You're still a student. Right after your after completing 12th grade, you published a collection of poems. Now you are the hottest romance writer in the country. Your book is doing quite well. I'm wondering, how do you manage the time? Because writing it's a serious business. It takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment. It requires a lot of resources, especially when it comes to publishing and all. How do you manage all this?
Thank you so much for the question, sir. To make sure that I get enough time for writing, I allocate time for writing besides other priorities like my studies. I create a timetable where equal time has been allocated for certain activities. Making the best use of every second is of paramount importance for me. No matter how urgent the works are, when it's time for writing, I don't let the other matters matter with it. Time management plays a key role for writers who have a lot of other works to do. Time hasn't been much of a problem, but when it comes to printing and publishing, without strong financial resources, my publication gets delayed most of the time. Like I had to wait for 2 years to get my first book, A Drop of Nectar, published. Actually, I completed the book when I was in the 10th grade, but due to the lack of financial resources, so I had to delay it for 2 years. So I could publish it only after the completion of my 12th grade. However, luckily for my second book, first novel, I got an investor. Therefore, time has never been a problem, but financial resources has been. I think that's all regarding the first question.
You started with poetry, and then suddenly you jump into writing a romance novel. Why a romance novel? Why not write in other genre? Why romance?
I have always loved writing something which centers around the theme of love. Moreover, I have always believed in love, and writing something about love fascinates me. As Eleanor Glynn said, romance is the glamour which turns the dust of everyday life into a golden age. I believe that love is an integral part of human life. Actually, I would have continued writing poems, but I found that people don't read poems like they do with novels. So novelists, they in our country, in Bhutan, they receive good response from the people compared to poetry. So I thought of going with a romance novel first.
What was your main inspiration? Who inspired you to write? Because in Bhutan, we have only a countable number of writers, and the first romance novel was written by Monodama. I guess you are the second one. Who inspired you? Did Mono feature into your head when you thought of writing the book, or it was just the butterflies in your stomach, as young guys falling in love, getting infatuated and all this?
Yes, sir. My own high school life inspired me to write this book. I was a vulnerable high school student who lost direction and mixed up priorities during the turning points of my life. High school life was one of the most beautiful parts of my life, despite the hardships I went through. Thus, through my book, I aim to show a high schooler how to stay strong even during rough days and how to achieve their dreams. So I must say that my high school life was the inspiration behind writing this book. I think that's all.
I agree with you. High school life is such a beautiful life. When I myself on a pretty good says, even bunking press, God forbid, encountering teachers who wouldn't want you. Some of them wouldn't even want you to play. Forget about romancing, right? And writing love letters. I wasn't good at that. Good at it. My first love letter was written by one of my friends. And I still remember, how he started. Dear apple of my eyes, apple of my eyes. In your book, you captured this high school life so well. It was pretty nostalgic for me to go through the book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, from your own perspective, why do you think people should read your book, The Tentacles of Love?
Thank you so much, sir. The first reason why people should read my book is because I've put quite a lot of effort in publishing this book. For writers, readers determine their success. So even if a single person reads my book, it would mean a lot to me. The support from the readers mean everything to a writer. The constructive comments and praises left by the readers after reading a writer's work motivates them and also lets the writer know the necessary changes that he or she should bring in his next works. Moreover, I would not recommend my book if I didn't receive a good review from the people. Not even a single person who completed reading my book said anything negative about my book. So I'm sure everyone reading it would enjoy reading this book. Most importantly, despite being a romance novel, it focuses on a lot of other important themes like the blunder of misprioritization, inattention to the value of life, prejudice, dark side of selfishness, joy in achieving dreams, etc., like which are easily relatable to anyone who reads it. So I think like these are the main reasons why people should read my books.
I agree with you. I cannot agree less. It would be nice for the interest of the writers, I mean readers, if you could kindly read a short passage from your book. Can you do that for us, please?
Yes, sir. Like the favorite passage from my book is the passage in which the main character of the book of M.I.S.R. writes a letter to his crush, Kindakatsu. So I'll read it, sir. Dear Kindakatsu, I know you'll get startled on receiving a letter from somebody you had no acquaintance before. However, it seems like you're so familiar, so known to me. I remember seeing you through the classroom window on my first day to school. I couldn't understand why my heart skipped a beat and found it as if it would burst the moment I saw you. It felt as if you had been in my heart since a century ago. You have been in my heart since the day I saw you. Even now, while I'm writing this letter to you, I'm dying to see you. Actually, I'm not someone confident enough to confess everything I feel so easily. The most important thing is, I have never proposed to anyone at first sight in my entire life. It took me immense courage to write this to you. I knew it would hurt me more to keep it concealed in my heart, and I can't bear the pain any longer. I know nothing about your relationship status and the kind of person you are, but I don't really care being rejected or even being punished for disclosing my feelings. Nothing would be more serious, more remorseful than not letting you know how I feel, Jerikinda. There is a magic in your smile and adventure in your eyes that I've never seen in anyone. I cannot help myself but be drawn to you. Trust me, this is more than a mere infatuation. Even now, I cannot stop imagining the sound of your voice and the beautiful words that would come out of your twin lips. Honestly speaking, I haven't been in a relationship in my entire life, but it seems the time has come now. I can't even believe how my heart cries to hear your name and how badly my eyes weep to see your smile. I can't understand why I feel a strong pull towards you, though I barely know you. Kinda, do you believe in destiny? Do you believe in love at first sight that is more than a mere infatuation? I think that's what's happening to me. Just to write back to me as soon as possible. Even if you say no, I won't feel bad. To let me know I'm ready to step back or embrace you in my arms for eternity. Yours truly, M.I.S.R. Then that's it, sir.
Thank you so much. Again, the nostalgia, again, you took me back to my high school days, when all this used to happen. It must have happened to everybody of us, right? By the way, I had tough time getting a copy of your book. Maybe it's because I'm in central Bhutan right now, 270 kilometers away from the capital city. Therefore, I had to get a PDF copy from you. Thank you so much for that. How is your book doing in the market, by the way?
Thank you so much, sir. The book almost sold out in less than 4 months. The response to the book from the masses has been positive. As of now, there are less than 20 copies of the book remaining unsold. I received a few orders yesterday, again after informing people about the last copies of the book available. I'm sure it will be out of stock and unavailable in hard copy by the end of this week, sir.
Oh, you're really lucky. Most writers cannot sell their books, especially in Bhutan, that fast. I've written about 7 books. The only book that sells really fast is my first book, The Talisman of Good Fortune. It is always out of print. So congratulations. That's really good for you. Now, because the book is hot, I'm quite sure that there are people, I myself would like to get a hard copy. All right. So there will be people waiting to access your book. How easily can they access your book, because you are going to have it reprinted again, right?
Thank you so much, sir. Like due to the pandemic, the delivery of the books got delayed for a couple of weeks after it was launched, since inter-district movements weren't allowed and Bhutan was just starting with its unlocking phase of the first national lockdown. However, after the situation improved, the books became accessible to all the people around the country. I received orders from USA, Australia, Nepal, Philippines, Japan, India, and many other international countries. However, it was going to take time due to the pandemic. Therefore, I made it available on Amazon for them. Thus, the book is easily accessible now.
Thank you so much for the information. Now you're about to complete your studies.
Yes, sir.
And then, because you are a master at time management, I'm quite sure you might have started a project or whatever. Do you have any further plans, or are you already working on a project?
Yes, sir. Like I'm already working on my next book, and I have already completed writing 25% of the book. I haven't thought of an appropriate title yet, but for now, I have kept the title as Dream Dubai. It's based on a true story, sir, and it's about crime and mystery, a different genre this time. So I thought of trying a different genre this time, other than romance. So I'm planning to publish it by the end of this year, and if possible, very soon.
That's really good, trying different genre, because I write in different genre as well. I do folk tales, I do creative stories, I do poetry. I also write for children. So it keeps you going. It's interesting. I guess some writers find it hard to do that, but I love it. I think we share similar interests. How about poetry? Are you going back to poetry, or?
No, sir. Like right now, like I sort of focusing only on novels. Poetry, like sometimes, like when I feel like writing, I write stuff. But as of now, like my main focus is on novels.
I know that we all know that there are hundreds and thousands of aspiring young writers who are still, who still have to struggle with their studies, but would like to, write and publish. I've been approached by many students like this. So you are a fresh young writer. What will be your word of wisdom to those young aspiring writers who are struggling to write, or struggling to, even after writing, struggling to publish?
Thanks so much, sir. The only message I have for young aspiring writers is to never give up on the journey of writing. A writer doesn't shine overnight. It takes months and sometimes years, but this should not discourage him or her. So, like I have observed that most of the aspiring writers, when they don't get what they expected, so they get discouraged, and people like tend to, even the aspiring writers, they tend to leave writing. So I would like to ask the young aspiring writer to be patient with Dusty Detours, because they will land us right where we need to be in the end. So it's all about passion, sir. So writing, it will take time, but passion is what aspiring writers need. So I would ask them to be patient and keep on writing. I think that's all.
Oh yes, I totally agree with you. It's passion that drives you. That keeps you going. It's not really the market, or the name. For me, it was always about let me just write. And when I write, I don't think of publishing. It is only after I've written everything and then shared with some friends, and then when they say that you should publish it, that's the only time I go for it. Excellent advice. Would you like to talk on your new book, or add some more on your existing book, because we happen to have about 1 minute plus now? Anything else?
I think I will talk about my new books. Like recently there was not recent, maybe a year ago, there was a case about women being trafficked to Iraq, Buddhist women being trafficked to Iraq. So this time, like, I thought of like dedicating my book to all the women around the world. So it will talk about women trafficking, strength of women, the love for one's country. So I thought of conveying important social messages through my book. So like as of now, like I'm giving my best, and whenever I get time, I'm trying to make sure that I go on with my novel, and I'm planning to publish it within 6 to 7 months. So I'm giving my best, and I also have a plan to like send an application to the Penguins, an international publisher this time. I'm giving my best. I'm making sure that the quality of the book, quality of my writing is good. And this time I plan to send my manuscript to Penguins. So if it gets accepted, I think it will be one of the greatest achievements of my life. I think that's all regarding the new books.
Thank you very much, Rinzinji and Tempa sharing for your very nice conversation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Sahitya Academy, on behalf of Sahitya Academy and Foundation of SAARC Writers and Literature, thank all of you for participating in this session. Namaste, and thank you very much.
And Tempa, please take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. You too, sir. Be safe, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.